point, I moved to LA to do acting and comedy, and it's actually Jeff was the one who turned me on to going to this class with Sam Christensen, where all you guys were going to class, and I joined in with everybody doing the Sam Christensen class.
Me and Marco from Die Hard.
yes. And that class, I learned about like what Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung. It's kind of an amalgamation of the two put together. And I learned about my essences, what I give off as a human being. I went, wait a second. If I worked out, I could be like the big bad guy in TV and film. Everyone's like, oh, you were like the jock in school. Like, you can do, like, you're the super fit guy. I go, no. I was the kid, like getting picked on, like I could maybe do a pull-up or whatever, and that was about it.
Wait, so what did you learn in Sam's class? You're saying you were in Sam's class when you were still scrawny,
yeah,
for lack of a better word?
Yeah.
And so what were you hearing from Sam's class that made you think if you got jacked up, what were you hearing?
Well, Sam's really nice because he brings me up to other students where he talks about you find out what your essences are. Like when you walk into a room, what you give off to people if you're just quiet and just like what they're who they are. Like in the old days, what we used to do is go to like the airport and like, for example, just hypothetically, we'd go there and like Dan would stand in the corner and I have a list of adjectives on a piece of paper. And I would walk around to strangers and go, hey, my friend Dan Harmon, we're in an acting class together.
That guy over there.
Yeah. Can you mark any adjective do you think applies to Dan just by looking at him without him saying anything? And after about 100 of these or so, you start seeing the same patterns, like some of the same words repeat over and over.
I literally
again.
did that exercise, and you think like, oh, this is horse shit. You take them home and go, it's an international terminal, so a lot of these people are just like from Poland, and and it's like, why does everyone think I'm sarcastic? I was like everyone thinks I'm sarcastic.
You're standing like 50 feet away, and you're
just
standing
there neutral.
Check off things that apply to this person, and everybody agrees.
I got sarcastic, lazy, smart. That's it. That's all I remember. I'm like, how do you know I'm lazy? I'm sarcastic.
But the thing is, like, they might all be wrong about whether or not you're lazy. You might not be lazy because like you're a workaholic. You're not. I don't think of you as a lazy person, but strangers all unanimously agree. Who?
Rob makes a lot of comments about it.
I went with a guy who looked like Charles Bronson. He was like this tough dude with like a mustache. And I would go like I would say like people were like, this is back in the days where you could walk into the terminal like before a flight with like before you had to go through security. You could be at the gate without going through security. Yeah. And so you'd say like, see that guy over there? We're in an acting class. Your flight is delayed. If you got nothing better to do, check off what you think applies to this person, and people love it because you get to
because there's not a lot of shit to do at the airport. Especially this is before 9/11 and before
Ruby
massive
Tuesday.
amount of this is before Candy Crush. This is before
exactly.
This is before Words with Friends. This is before people had shit to do.
And so you go, I get to pass judgment on a stranger with no consequences. It's hilarious. And so also, if you want to write things down, extra things at the bottom, do that too. And the thing is, they all said the same shit. So we got 50. Like Sam Christensen said, like, do 5 if you trust me. Do 500 if you don't. Like the thing is, it's going to be the same information no matter what. Like everyone's going to agree that.
Remember Schraub, we went to the weekend intensive, and you're not supposed to tell anybody what's on your cards because then you do an intensive version where your fellow students are writing shit down during exercises. And Schraub is all sullen. He's mad. We were walking down the sidewalk out of the thing, and I was like, man, this is fucking great. Because I like looked at my cards and you looked at yours, and you're not supposed to talk to each other at lunch about your cards. And Rob's bummed out, and I said, "What's going on, man? You're not having a good time?" He's like, "I don't know, man." And I'm like, "What is it?" It was like someone said I look like C-3PO. I'm not C-3PO. He was like moving his I was like, "Are you doing a bit? Are you doing a bit?"
I wasn't.
I'm not. I'm not C-3PO.
I wasn't.
I only speak 5 million languages.
Okay, so Derek. So in that.
Hang on. So the guy I went to the airport with, this like kind of tough Charles Bronson looking dude. We got in the car, and I got teamed up with him. I didn't really want to be this guy's partner. It turned out to be the most informative thing in the world. Because we got in the car, and he's looking through the stuff, and he's going through his everything. He's like, why does everybody say suspicious? I'm like, Dude, you're suspect. Like, you're suspicious of them, I'm suspicious of you. And also, the same guy actually got up and is like, why do people keep saying I'm loud? And walked out. Watching other people reject their shit was amazing. But Rob, like, I know I had one that made me cry. Like, I was like, oh, that's fucking exactly how you say that thing. And you had one that I loved. It's Last Puppy at the Pound. Mm-hmm. Right? It's amazing. But also because you root for the last puppy at the pound. He's the cute one.
Yeah, and the last puppy at the pound manipulates people. So he's
yeah. What was your breakthrough on, Dan?
Mine was Mud Monster on Shore Leave, which I personally find, because it's like I'm from the fucking shitty slimy world, but I'm on vacation. I like clean, soft, frilly. Like I like the real world. I love it. I just don't belong in it. So I'm just like, that's fucking awesome. You're so clean. That's why I love Hugh Jackman. That's why like when we worked with him, I'm like, I fucking love that guy. That's why I love fucking handsome, pretty things. I love clean, but I'm never gonna be. I'm on shore leave. But I don't want to hang out. Like it's like when a LA person goes to Portland and they keep apologizing for it being overcast. It's like, motherfucker, why do you think I came here? I live in a desert. Like that's me with mud. Like I'm a mud monster on shore leave.
What was yours, Derek?
My main one?
Yeah.
My main one was I've been many places, but I've never forgotten where I've come from.
I like that.
So you started lifting weights. what was okay.
I had like a lot of what was it? I have this gentle tough guy thing working like a Swiss watch, and I had another one where it was like a superhero in search of superheroine for meaningful exchange of superpowers. And so there's a lot of comic booky type things. I'm like, wait, if I worked out,
you're getting these things
that
you felt like you were like Dexter in Space Ace, but you weren't Space Ace yet.
Oh my god, that's a reference.
Applause. Never.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing.
Don Bluth Laserdisc game.
A Space Ace reference.
When did I become the guy that's like, I made a reference? It's just when I just cast on this ice float.
Could we apply Sam Christensen knowledge on Spencer and give him an essence?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Spencer's essence is I am taking over your ship and sailing it into Cock Harbor. I am a Viking of pussy. No, I don't.
It's a fun place.
Let's see. Spencer's essence is.
This is weird, right?
That's one of them.
The thing about this class is it's amazing. Like Drew Carey, like I took it like a long time ago, and I told Drew about it, and he goes, and Drew's famous, and we're taking a road trip together, and he's like, I want to know who I am. The whole point is that like there's things that people, strangers, friends, instantly agree about you, whether they're right or wrong. They all go like if we looked at you and go like do you like to swim or do you hate getting your hair wet? They would all agree or disagree on that. But it would be unanimous. You might be an Olympic swimmer, but they might go, no, she doesn't like to get her hair wet because there's an essence about you. I'm just making off the top of my head. So it's this thing like you find out like all the things you wish people thought about you. Maybe they don't. Also, some things that you wish that you like. I hope people think of this. They do think that, but
the big thing is that everything that sticks out about you when you're 6 years old
is the same forever.
Well, everyone notices everything that's special about you. It doesn't have to be who you are. It's just like it's the way you stick out. It's the edges that you have.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a glamorous. It's not always like we're raised on myths like the Ugly Duckling and Rudolph and things where we get that concept that, oh, maybe the thing that you think is ugly will make you beautiful, but that still enforces the idea of utility and beauty. The more important thing to realize is that when you're on the playground, you're differently shaped than everyone around you, and your early experiences with what makes you different are usually negative experiences because the people around you.
They're the things that stick out.
They're practicing being a society, which is like water, which erodes away at rough edges. So like all of our early experiences, like hearing things about ourselves, are experiences of like crowds gathering around us and going, nanny, nanny, panty, panty. Like I just have something that's like I'm not a panty. And it only means something to us. Like it's like something that they figured out. They they zeroed in on it. And it might even just be the fact that you hate attention. Like that's for a lot of people. And it's like, and then they fucking hone in. And a lot of us who are destined for interesting things or, just hard things, like that's when we have to practice being special, whether we like it or not, and they get to practice being a society, whether they like it or not.
What was amazing is in the class, there was women in my class, this like young or middle-aged women that they have to find out how the world thinks of them as pretty or beautiful. And there was a couple gals that were really beautiful, and the way that the world thinks, like the way they describe their beauty, is really hard for them to hear because they've been tortured by that since they were little girls. And so, for them to own the fact that, there was I won't say her name because she's on TV and you all know her. She's won Emmys and shit. She was in the class and
Faye Dunaway.
She's a Latina. And everybody kept saying,
Amy Esperanza.
Yes, it was Amy Esperanza. People in the class secretly write down ways to describe things about people, and they kept saying hot tamale. And she's like, I'm not a hot tamale. I'm like, no, it's like Sam's like, you're a hot tamale. What do you like?
They're racist, but
yeah. But she's like, I've heard that since I was a little girl. Like you're gonna hear that till you die. Like Katharine Hepburn, when she was, how old was she when Philadelphia Story came out? Like 18, 19, like very young. All the reviews called her feisty. Everyone said, she's feisty, she's feisty, she's feisty. Then when she's, 70 or whatever she was on Golden Pond, crusty. When you're older,
right.
They call you crusty. What they're talking about is an essence of defiance.
Right.
When you're a defiant 18-year-old woman, you're feisty. When you're a defiant 70-year-old woman, you're crusty.
It's flavor becomes like, hey, who poisoned my food?
Yeah. But what they're talking about is like, Katharine Hepburn's essence is, she never needed men. Mm-hmm. It was a complete defiance of masculinity. And that's, we have different names for that when you're young and when you're old.
Well, also one of the things he had us do in that class is he said, go home, grab your yearbooks. I don't even know if you kids do the yearbook thing anymore. It's like it's so more, it's like that was the last time anyone was ever going to say shit to you. They would write all this shit in your yearbook. Also, all your love letters, we would pass like loose leaf love letters, and I would you'd keep them all. It's like our generation, we'd have boxes of them. He said, go home, grab the notes from the girls in your high school when they started, when things were going good, when they liked you, and then go all the way through and when they have a problem with you, and look at the fact that there's just two different words for what makes you who you are.
The same thing, yeah.
And when they're hot for you, you're capricious, and when they're dumping you, you're scatterbrained.
Yeah, for me, my like all my yearbook stuff. There's different neighborhoods of things. Like there's a way to describe how you're attractive, or how you're funny, or how you're smart, or how you're lonely, or how you're weird, or how you're you're fucked up. We have these neighborhoods of these different qualities of ourselves. One of mine is, if you like me, confident, poised. If you don't like me, cocky, arrogant, like a piece of shit. They're like, it's like
this piece of shit just thrown in. Exactly. That's like the cheese on the cheese fries.
So
piece of shit could go on anything.
But
yeah, I'll take it.
For me, the one that blew my mind, Sam's like,
all right, of course.
The one that blew my mind is we're trying to figure out. Like Sam's like, there's a way to describe the fact. It's not enough to say, Jeff, that you're cocky, because you are cocky. But also, you're not just arrogant. Also, you're not just poised. You're not just, self-confident. Like there's a way to describe.
You also have a huge cock. Thank you.
He asked me about that
for coming to this class.
So anyway, I'm fucking Sam.
I'm going to write you a check right now for taking this class.
But so he like, he has these books of slang, and like you go through the OED and all this stuff. You're trying to find the perfect way to word things, and he wrote it down. And he goes, Jeff, he goes, I think you're going to like this. I don't think anybody else in the world would. I think that you might actually agree with this and like this description of that neighborhood of stuff. And it was, he wrote it down on a piece of paper and gave it to me, and I like hit his desk and started crying. I was like, exactly. And it was not conceited, just convinced. And I said, yeah, I don't think I'm better than you. I know I am.
Only a dick would think he was better than you. I just am. Let's move on. I could be a great guy.
But
like you
can laugh and you go like, oh, like, yeah, like I'm a prick, but there's a charm to that prickiness, and there's a thing like.
No, we always circle that because it's like there's some people that turn you off with their confidence because it's like, oh, that dick, and then it's like some people rise, they go somebody strata up that they're like, oh yeah, I got nothing to worry about. So let me take you out on the dance floor and give you a twirl. You know, like, oh yeah, I'm not battling those dragons. So let me share my wealth with you.
There was a girl in my class who is a great actor, still is, and she's amazing. And also, again, you would know who she was. She is the one that turned me on to the class. And
Gina Davis.
Huh?
Gina Davis.
Judi Dench. And there was one essence that she could never agree on. And we all in the class knew exactly what it was, and it was impossible. And she would never figure out the last one, and we'd all just say to her, you're impossible. And that doesn't mean bad. Like, impossible is amazing. Because, like there's no pleasing you, but also, like, you're the most important person to try to please. Like you're just beyond pleasing. Like, you're just...
She ended up marrying Tom Cruise.
Judi Dench. But there was a girl in our class, and she stormed out and she goes, hard to handle. She was German. She's hard to handle. Fuck this class. And walked out.
I'm not C-3PO.
Also, Rob, you have a good one that I love. It's Little Green Man.
Oh, Little Green Man.
I love that one.
Yeah. Little Green Man.
Because you are from outer space in an awesome way. And that's the C-3PO essence too. Like, that's
guess.
the thing.
Yeah. It's not Boba Fett.
Dan, one of your essences that I love is unspeakable sadness. Right? It's unspeakable.
All right. Well, that was
That's why I text you. try to help you through that sadness without speaking. No, it's uncomfortable, so I text you. And even though you don't text back, I hear you. It's okay. It's okay.
I remember one of the cards from that class that somebody wrote that led to that being one of my essences, which is what you get from this class, was and this really, really, like, it triggered me. Like it's weird when you hear the shit that's like, what the fuck? In the class you do monologue. Like Sam goes, tell us about an animal that changed your life.
Oh boy.
And you'll talk for 3 minutes. And the other students scribble. He gives the students an exercise. It goes, I want you to compare Dan to a weather phenomenon on your card. He just like gives you specific instructions to get you out of your head. But and sometimes he goes like, free, anything, like no category. Dan, talk about a celebrity you hate or whatever. So I talked for a while, and then I got my cards, and one of them just said, talk, wounded.
Whoa! My favorite, when I went to the airport.
No likey.
When I went to the airport, there was a bunch of, middle-aged, like maybe like 30s, 40s, 50s black women that were all traveling together as a family.
The worst. I thought that's where you were going.
And so, my Charles Bronson guy, you also asked, like you say, also if you want to just freestyle and write shit on your own at the bottom of it, and somebody wrote, and I love this part. He goes, "That white boy crazy."
All right.
I was just standing there.
Well, I mean, yeah.